Hello. It is early in the morning. It's, let's see here, 4:11 a.m. and I've been sitting around procrastinating to make this video because I was having a little bit of anxiety. The anxiety was, what am I going to say? There is so much to say. So I got through most of the day not worrying about it, just kind of hanging out at home and taking screenshots of messages between my ex and myself, my soon-to-be ex-husband and myself, during the time period between when I took my daughter Rosalie and fled on June 28th, 2019, and between the day that the Department of Children's Services, in conjunction with a psychiatric hospital in Chattanooga, called Daniel and ordered her to be released to him. I had taken her there. It's called Park Ridge Valley Children's and Adolescents. I had taken her there because, so my ex gave, oh gosh, I just don't want to get into all of it right now, but it's been hard. It's been hard. And you know, what happened is that he, for years and years, when I told him that I was going to leave him for being abusive, for, you know, calling me names, some of which I will explain to you in a minute. And he would always tell me to, and there's going to be some cuss words in what I say, because that's the nature of the abuse. So he would, you know, tell me, just get your shit and get the fuck out. And I couldn't do that at that time, but, you know, eventually one day I did, which was before, when I took Rosalie. But it's been a long thing, and it's hard to explain, but I will explain a couple of things right now. And first, I do want to note too that I'm not going to be negative all the time and just talking about negative things. I'm also interested in current events like coronavirus and all of that. So I'm glad everybody's out there staying safe. And I think everybody's doing the best they can. And I just want to encourage other people to stay connected in however you can. You know, making a vlog would be an interesting thing to see other people. So I don't want to challenge anybody, but specifically, but maybe one day I'll be like, hey, Allie, sister, why don't you make one, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'm glad everybody's doing well. So let's get to this injunction. What I mean by injunction is it, you know, I haven't really tried to understand it too much because it's frustrating, but it's a piece of paper that says all of the negative things that Daniel has collected about me over the years, and hands it back to me with a stamp on it that says, you're a neglectful mother, your daughter, you're causing her psychological harm, and she should be in the hands of her father. I do not agree with that, and I'm going to do everything I can to change it, to get her safe with me here, and then he can figure out what he wants to do with his life and himself, and I can move on. And we can co-parent and be a happy, you know, family unit at some point. That's what anybody wants, I guess, if you get into a divorce and you have to do a parenting plan and you want the co-parenting to go well. So that is my hope for this and for the outcome. And I have faith in God, in my, you know, higher power for getting me through all of that, and also for bringing any good luck that I've had over the years in the form of people that I love, including all my Facebook friends, and especially people at UT who got me through and who mean a lot to me, a lot in my life, and a lot in Rosalie's life, because I changed when I went to school at UT and discovered psychology, and really, you know, went deeper into it compared to Miss Shipley's wonderful psychology class AP in high school. I loved that. So good job, Ms. Shipley. You're the first one who talked about bipolar disorder. And I do remember thinking, that sounds like my stories my dad tells me about my grandma. But I didn't connect the dots quite yet. But I've been connecting them for a while now, since 2011 when I was diagnosed. So I'll quit ignoring this piece of paper and I'll read it. The State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services, DCS, and through its duty authorized representative, case manager, I'm not going to say the name, asked this court to find the child, Rosalie, dependent and neglected, to require protective supervision, and to control the conduct of the respondents pursuant to Tennessee Code, etc., etc. The petition is brought upon the following facts. So let's look at the facts. Okay, this is just like random stuff. Okay, factual allegations. That's what this one is. So Rosalie is neglected within the meaning of this code, this law. There was a referral on February 10th, 2020, alleging psychological harm by her mother, Stephanie Shipp. The DCS agent responded to the referral, met with Rosalie at Woodland Elementary, along with school staff, including Rosalie's therapist from Ridgeview, that I had signed her up for at the beginning of the year to get, I guess I thought it was going to be a little bit more in-depth trauma, but I should have known better than that. What this therapist is good at is daily life at school and problems that children have with other, children, it seems, besides, and yeah, I have a little bit of frustration with all of this. So if you guys see anger, if you've been through a divorce or experienced a family member or, friend or colleague who's been through divorce and separation, and especially if there's, I wouldn't say ill will, but especially, I don't even know if that's the same, but I made it up. Especially if it's stressful beyond the point of respecting one another and the child. So what happened was that this DCS agent went to the school, met with my daughter. I was not notified of that. I wasn't present for any of the interviews that they did with her between the time when she was 5 and now she is 6, which is pretty young. So anyways, they're with school staff, the principal, and the Ridgeview therapist. And I want to say to all of the Woodland staff, including especially the PTO and Mr. Hobby, Dr. Blaylock, you guys have been wonderful in helping Rosalie be safe and in being neutral in dealing with all of this. So thank you very kindly for that, as Martin Luther King Jr. would say. Had to throw that in there. Let's see. Okay, they met with the child and completed a minimal facts interview. So minimal facts. I don't know what that means, but the child made no disclosures of abuse or neglect at that time. So period. Let's just start with that one. Minimal facts interview. February 10th, 2020. In August 2019, when the DCS case opened, under my soon-to-be ex saying that I was in unstable housing with my daughter, I wanted to show them the proof that I had of his abuse. I got out all the journals, all of the things that I had written over the years since, I guess, the first journal was 2015. And I didn't really get, I guess, because I don't know why, and I don't want to talk about anybody's intentions, but it wasn't taken as it should have been. It wasn't taken for what, the truth as to, I'm a mother. I'm saying that I've lived with this man for years, and he was mean on a consistent basis in a harsh way that was unjust. And, another Martin Luther King Jr. quote, he wasn't treating God's children fair. So we need to keep the children safe. Anyways, so that's so the minimal facts interview. So basically what happened was that everybody, I don't mean to make blanket statements, so just stay with me. This is my first time here. But some professionals failed to see my point that Daniel, oh, there's his name, didn't mean to say it, but the ex is and was abusive to myself and Rosalie. Period. That was me putting a period at the end of a sentence so I don't go on and on. And it's late and I just am ready to go now, I guess, because I'm still a little bit upset about this and I'm not trying to be so serious in these things, but I decided that when I was thinking about what topics I'm going to talk about today, and, plenty of topics, wanted to do shout outs to everybody and, just a little bit too much planned. So I was avoided, and then I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and do it at 4. So I, again, want to say that I hope that everybody is staying mentally sane during this coronavirus quarantine. I hope that we can stay connected on Facebook, because even though I have heard a lot of complaints that, got to shut it down, I do better without it. And I totally understand that. But if you do need to be on here and post stuff to make yourself feel better, which I do all the time, and because I think that somebody might think it's interesting or funny or, a good article, something like that. So yes, be safe and maybe post some videos of yourself one of these days and tell me what's going on with you, or respond to like what's going on in the world, like Stephen Colbert and back in the day, Chelsea Handler. If anybody remembers the Chelsea show, those are 2 more of my idols, I guess you could say. I don't know about idols, but 2 of my, people I like to watch and I think are funny and cool and sarcastic and just interesting. So those are the things that make life fun, whatever you can find that you like. So anyways, we're almost at 13 minutes and I've been doing some rambling, but I do want to mention that yesterday I was talking about mania, and that, when I'm manic, there's focused energy, and that is true. But right now I am not in an extreme state of bipolar disorder, such as mania. I am calm, collected, and ready to get custody of my daughter back. So any support that y'all can give me, that'd be great. Prayers, whatever. And anything you need from me, like, I know that I'm not somebody who responds to messages very often, but, maybe, I'll try. So anyways, see ya.